I feel I must address a bit of bullshit that I hear from time to time. The phrase intrinsic value gets tossed around too loosely, especially by environmentalists. They get away with it because most people don't know how to call them out on their bullshit. That's part of the idea. It's a phrase designed to end debate. There's a finality in the assertion that will discourage most people from challenging it any further. I figure there are two, maybe three possible meanings for this phrase that don't amount to utter twaddle, but none is what the phrase appears to mean. Sometimes a person says intrinsic value and means the God she believes in values all creatures, or all things, or maybe only certain things. The boundaries are tied to a particular vision of a particular deity's value system. The problems here are obvious. First, the value is clearly dependent on something external. That is, by definition, it is not intrinsic. Second, if this is the claimed source of value, it rests on multiple significant assumptions. This is a position that demands time and effort to defend. Hence, the easy breezy intrinsic value cop-out. But non-religious people definitely use this term as well. What might they mean? They probably mean that the being in question is self-valuing. Fair enough as far as it goes. But while the valuing is self-contained, it is not unconditional. For starters, the being must be the sort of thing capable of self-valuing. I would set the benchmark for this as having a mind. But there you go. Others will use different criteria, and even those who are down with my requirement, well, the debates over exactly what kind of things have minds can go on ad infinitum, and there is zero hope of consensus. Hence, the easy breezy intrinsic value cop-out. If you mean self-valuing, then phrase it that way, please. The third alternative that I can make sense of is claiming intrinsic value on the grounds that all things are connected. But in order for the interconnectedness to matter, it must be assumed that at least some things have intrinsic value already, which sets us back to using one of the first two options to establish that part. Then you have to argue that things are connected in a way that confers this value on everything. Good luck with that. There is no doubt we are dealing with an appealing, pleasant little term. After all, it makes one feel good and generous to say that something has intrinsic value. But the bottom line is, although it is used casually, statements of intrinsic value make a grand claim. It is more than fair to inquire exactly what one means by it, because upon inspection, it will invariably reveal itself to be a bit of misleading rhetoric, or else some vague feeling, and not a real thought at all. Glad we got that cleared up.